Who is Monica Bill Barnes? Let's find out. She was born in 1969 and is 52 years old. She was born and raised in Berkeley, California, and moved to New York City in 1995. She received a BA in philosophy from the University of California in San Diego. She then created her own company, Monica Bill Barnes and Company, that is still thriving to this day, and she's still running to this day. Monica's company has been presented in more than 30 cities throughout the United States and has been part of major dance festivals including Beta Dance Festival, the American Dance Festival, and Jacob Palos Dance Festival. Barnes arrived in New York City as a solo artist, but her dances consisted of her and whatever she could carry in her suitcase for the first several years, according to Barnes. After surviving on the bare minimum in New York City, she found her way to master-level choreography. Barnes's work is so unique and mesmerizing because she takes inherently attractive people and dancers who are strong in gesture and gives them awkward movement that they wouldn't normally do. It's very out of most people's comfort zone. Who is Monica Barnes working with right now? Robbie, Elizabeth, and Flannery. Why are all these people important? Well, simple. The running show. Robbie, Elizabeth, and Flannery are 3 members of Monica's company who work with her specifically on the running show. The running show is a show learned in a week at a bunch of different colleges, including Cedar Crest. Look, that's my name! Now let's take a look at one of the dances called Mama Tried. The running show is a show that is learned and performed in only 5 days. It is a show that has an entire dance dedicated to snapping, which is called Mama Tried, which is actually what you're watching right now. This dance opens the performance, and then it goes into the balancing act. At least that's how it was performed the time that I performed it, which is what you're watching right here. It is performed differently in each city, and there's always a bit different songs and different revenues. The other half of the show is literally just us dancers running for what feels like 5 miles. It truly is a show that showcases the dancers' pure strength and athleticism and really demonstrates how much work it takes to be a dancer. The reason I wanted you to look at this dance specifically is because normally when you think of modern dance, you don't think of snapping. This dance is all about competition, rhythm, and repetition. It is presented in almost a horse race or marathon type fashion. You hear Robbie throughout the entire dance calling out our numbers, saying things like 33 coming up the back, 54 is the one to beat, 21 is falling behind. Using this terminology really amps up the view of the performance for the audience. It also adds stakes to the dancers, saying, oh, I'm really rooting for this specific dancer, which is a completely different outlook on the competitive dance world, which isn't really how it's ran. I think because Monica chose to do it this way, it's almost proving that the dance world is just as competitive, if not more competitive, than any other sport or art form. I can truly say you could feel the pressure behind the movements as a dancer, and it was exhilarating. Now let's look at excerpts from her show Another Parade. This piece in particular seems to me like the dancers and performers are battling within themselves and as a group. It starts with a line of 4 people, each doing their own very unique movement for about 30 seconds. Monica, who's on the far left, looks like she's ready to fight somebody or preparing for battle, but when she or one of her friends are touched, they move to the ground in a jittery, sad movement. The next section of movement, the group is moving simultaneously through a patch of choreography that is very grounded in ballet technique, but is extreme sense of modern throughout the entire movement itself. They use many sharp lines, but fluidity through the same movement. This choreography is clearly based in ballet and modern technique, along with using dancers' natural strength as an anchor. Monica, throughout all of her works, uses strength, which is really big in anything she showcases. She has dancers in this piece in winter school uniforms, which is normally seen or perceived as very dainty. Yet, because she chose brown and gray, it is almost though it has strength behind it, which is very unique to this piece. Something I learned about Monica and her movement base is that it's designed to showcase how athletic dancers truly are. I personally think that dancers are normally told to be elegant and beautiful in modern and in ballet, but with Monica, she wants to showcase how hard they work and how much effort truly it takes to put into any dance. Showing the dancer's athleticism showcases the pure amount of hours and training they have to be a dancer. Just look at this picture. It's truly just unique. But let's hear from Monica.
I'm interested in using comedy as a way to make the work relatable. That I find oftentimes the audience is laughing at moments of failure, at moments where I think they too have had a similar awkward experience, or they're laughing at things that feel surprising or unexpected. I feel that for the past 20 years, we've been invested in thinking about, in particular, the way women are represented on stage and how that relates to the world and how that relates to how we're talking and thinking about gender. I hope with every show that we're making as a company that we're giving people an experience that they feel that they're able to enter into immediately, but that they also feel that there's more to think about afterwards.
Monica's work is truly her own. It's unique, different, and amazing. And if you can get a chance to see one of her shows, do it. So, who is Monica Bill Barnes? A woman I couldn't find a single bad review on because she is just that talented.